Alrighty, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to a wonderful Monday, a new week. Love Mondays. It means we get to trade again. Who here had a fantastic weekend? Chuck it in the chat. Let us know what you did. Let me know some of your wins, maybe some things you're grateful for over the weekend. We've already got some people in here showing their gratitude, which I love. Grateful to have spent time with my children yesterday, making memories and sharing laughs. I love it. After all, memories are the only thing we head to our grave with, so may as well make as many of them as we possibly can and make them good. Yeah, I've been playing with my little man a lot. He's getting more and more interactive, and he's starting to giggle now. And yeah, it's just incredible getting to spend that time with your children. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. It's great to be back with all of you. Yes, it is. All right, let's get some more gratitude coming in the chat. It's a fresh Monday. We should be full of energy or absolutely drained from the weekend if you had a really good weekend. But either way, hopefully we can start it off with a little bit of a booster, get ourselves in that right state of mind. For me this morning, I am really grateful for Amazon. Like, I know people hate Jeff Bezos and everything he's done, but wow, it's really handy to be able to have things dropped off left, right, and center, which can help for business, especially people like me who don't have such a good language barrier in the country that I'm living, and the fact that I got at-home businesses to run, and so does my partner, and that we can just things get dropped off like the next day or two is absolutely incredible. I'm also extremely grateful for music. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I play music. I love music. I live music, and had a bit of a harder day on Friday. Didn't have the best trading results and let my emotions take over again. But as we all know, I'm learning just as much as everyone here is. So after a great week, I kind of went against my intuition and didn't follow strongly with what my heart was telling me. And I took a big, not a big loss. I took a full loss, shall we say, on Friday, which affected me more emotionally. And so I had a bit of a harder day, but I was very easily able to reverse that with a nice shower and some music, and just, I don't know about you, chuck some ones in the chat if it's extremely helpful for you just to have a warm shower and crank on some tunes and just sing away in the shower. For me, when I do that, I come out of the shower every time just like vibrant and full of life. And so I'm very grateful for music. I love music. It's a very big emotional mover, shall we say. I find that no matter what mood you're in, if you listen to music with the right intention, the right ear, especially the right volume, you can move yourself into any kind of mood you want to. So yeah, I'm very grateful for music. I'm very grateful for the ability to play music. I was playing guitar to my little man the other day, and he's starting to get more ears on. So he was in awe, staring, listening, which was really cool to see. And I also am very grateful for, again, my ability to be at home and spend so much time here, earning, learning, sharing. So please chuck some gratitude in the chat. I see some ones coming in for other music lovers here. Good weekend. Grateful for a productive weekend of shopping and decorating. Yes, I was blessed to have a week of vacation away. Ooh, with my husband. Nice. Where did you go? Good weekend decorating my home for Christmas. Grateful for an opportunity to have extra time with family this weekend. I took a loss Friday too. Yeah, it happens. Part of trading. Good morning. I'm grateful for another week. I declare productivity, good trade setups, and no FOMO. I am confident and I can do hard things. My emotions are data, not directives. I like that. My emotions are data, not directives. It's a very interesting concept. I'm going to have to think about that one for a little bit. I like it though. Yeah, you got me thinking. I'm going to write that one down and have a think over it in my spare time. Love listening to music, uplifting for me. I am grateful for the people who share my journey with me. I am grateful for the people who share their journey with me. Oh, I like that too. You know, we're here sharing with each other, right? People sharing their journey with you, and you obviously sharing with others and stepping out of that comfort zone, getting more interactive, more involved. It's great to see. My emotions, I'm just just taking notes here, don't mind me. And this is the joy of interactive groups in the morning. I'm also able to learn. So the more that you guys get involved, the more that you share, the more that you open up, the more I'm able to learn things as well, which is one of the reasons why I love doing this. So let's have a look here. Been a good weekend. We've got lots of gratitude coming through. I heard that from a Tom Bilyeu podcast. Oh, I love Tom Bilyeu. I really, really, really recommend getting on as many of his podcasts as you can. There was a stage there where I was waking up at 4 a.m. every morning to look after my little man so that my partner could have a sleep. Now his sleeping change cycled, so did ours. But I'd get up at 4, and first thing I'd do is pretty much put a Tom Bilyeu podcast in my ear and just walk around with him until he sort of settled. And it was a great way to start my morning. Very, very good way to enrich the mind. He's got a lot of good guests and a lot of good value. You got me hooked. Oh, great. That's awesome. I'm glad I could share it with someone else. All right. So what are we going to talk about today? Last Friday, we had a very lovely couple of guests come and share a story. They had a bit of story time and then sort of depicted that story. Decoded. I don't know if either of those are the right word, but I'm going with it. Decoded that story. And they gave us their takeaways and what was important about changing core beliefs and their values and how it can affect us. And a little story from a young girl and how quickly and almost instantaneously someone's life can change through a change in identity. And you would have heard me talk about this quite a lot, where we can change our habits through 2 ways: shock, trauma, or repetition. Now, this is the same sort of thing as changing. When I say changing our habits, it's because these are the behaviors that are derived from our subconscious mind. These are the things that we do without having to think about it. And I'm actually going to go into a bit more of the subconscious mind and the computational brain, because that's what they also talked about. They talked about the autopilot that we have. And to me, that is the subconscious. That is the behaviors and the habits that we do without thinking. These can be good. These can be bad. They're just autonomous. But what I really liked from their conversation, I just completely went off on a different tangent then, sorry. What I really like from their conversation about their values and beliefs is that it can change instantaneously. We saw how the little girl, and if you didn't hear this story or haven't listened to the podcast, go back and listen to Friday's episode where they talk about the story of this little girl playing, and then the dad comes in grumpy and he screams at her, and instantaneously her identity is changed. And what happened is, in this moment of time, this little girl doesn't have the capability to separate the emotional and the logical brain. And so she's taken on some trauma to the emotional brain. And this has set up some core values and beliefs within her that shape her whole identity moving forward in life. And this is really important. And this is what I talk about a lot, because I talk about the ability to go back and tear down the layers and get back to that point in time to try and find a different perspective on the situation that can make you realize that maybe the intention wasn't the way that you took it on, and that we can shift our sort of, let's say our direction in life due to the emotional thoughts that we have about that particular point in time. So what I want to go on to is, what is this? So they asked 3 really good questions in the podcast, in the episode. And I want you to think about these and ask them to yourself. If you know what your core belief and values that are withholding you, let's say your limiting beliefs and values, that's better verbiage. So if you know what your limiting beliefs and values are, some people don't. Some people need to dig deeper and find out what they are. But if you do know them, then I want you to ask, what has it cost you so far? What have your limiting beliefs cost you so far? Next question is, what are they going to cost? Or sorry, what are they costing you now? So what right now in your life are these limiting beliefs holding you back from? And then what are these limiting beliefs going to cost you in the future if you don't change them, if you don't go and learn about them, if you don't dig deep and find them? So these were the 3 questions that were Adriana asked, in a way for you to understand them and ideally think about how important it is to change them. But I want to go down one step further. And what is it going to cost you if you actually change? If you change these limiting beliefs, and create a whole new life. So if you do decide to dig deep and find out what these beliefs and values are, and you do decide to make these changes like permanently, really make these changes, what is it going to cost you from your current life? And what is it going to cost you if you don't do it? Forgive me, can you provide the 3 questions? Yeah, so the first question was, what have your limiting beliefs cost you so far? What are they costing you now? And what are these limiting beliefs going to cost you in the future? So just think about, if you hold on to these limiting beliefs, what do they cost you so far in your life? What opportunities have you missed? What situations have you not been a part of because of these? What is it costing you right now in your life in situations where you're looking to change, you're trying to make these big changes, but you have these limiting beliefs which are holding you back? And if you remain on this path, what is it going to cost you in the future? So what do you think that it's going to make you miss out on? For example, if you're, say you're in a job, you're too afraid, you don't know your own self-worth, you don't have a good relationship with yourself, and you don't have the courage to go and speak to the boss and ask for a promotion, how are you going to stay in your job for XYZ years? You know, is it going to cost you that? Or I don't know, maybe there's an opportunity to go travel to the other side of the world and do something extremely out of your comfort zone, but you got this inbuilt fear because of something that happened to you. What's it going to cost you? Where could that lead you? So thinking about all this range of questions and trying to figure out exactly what it has cost you and what it's going to cost you. But then I want to put a different perspective on this and ask, what is it going to cost you if you do change? So let's say you figure out your limiting beliefs and you know exactly what it is. What's it going to cost you if you do change? And what's it going to cost you in the future if you don't? Because what I feel is that sometimes people do the personal development, they get to a level where they know who they are, they know what's holding them back, and they know the direction they want to go, but they still can't go there. Put some ones in the chat if you feel like you've done personal development for a while, if you feel like you've been on a good growth journey and you actually start to understand yourself a little bit and the direction that you want to go, but you're still in the same place. You're still in the same place you were when you started this journey. You might be a little bit more ahead. You might have found some changes. And you know what? If you have found changes, great. Like, that's awesome. But I find a lot of the time, now this comes down to 2 things: your perspective on what your change is, whether you've actually reached these goals and been like, yes, I've changed, and you're not actually looking at the smaller things and finding gratitude. That's something we talk about a lot. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about overall, as a whole, you know a bit about yourself. You know the changes you need to make, but you're still not making them. So I've definitely got some ones in the chat. 1. Okay, so my outlook on this is that this comes from fear. You know, we get in our comfort zone, like Deanna was talking about last week, and we have to leave that comfort zone to the fear zone. We have to make these changes, but we're scared of what it's going to cost us now. We're scared of who we might become, and we're scared of what we may lose. And these are all very, very rational fears. It's completely understandable. But what we need to do is calculate where we are, where we have been, and where we want to go, and figure out what the cost is. Now, what I want to do is share with you a little reel that was shared to me by the lovely Leah. Some of you may know her, but she is a trader who trades with us. And sometimes we have some conversations, and she sent me this little reel, and I think it's very powerful, and I just want to share it with you. Give me 1 second. Okay, so can I just get some, I'm going to let it play a couple of times, but just can someone in the chat let me know if you can hear this and if you can see it? Have we got sound in there?
No sound.
No sound? Okay. Let me try and fix that. I did this last time. Okay.
You no longer are.
Sound now?
Let it go. I found this to be a great quote by Brianna Weist, and it goes like this.
Perfect.
Your new life is going to cost you your old one. It's going to cost you your comfort zone and your sense of direction. It's going to cost you relationships and friends. It's going to cost you being liked and understood. But it doesn't matter, because the people who are meant for you are going to meet you on the other side. And you're going to build a new comfort zone around the things that actually move you forward. And instead of liked, you're going to be loved. Instead of understood, you're going to be seen. All you're going to lose is what was built for a person you no longer are. Let it go.
Right.
I found this to be a great quote.
So, check some ones in the chat if you can relate, if that kind of made sense or if that hit home to anyone, because it did for me. Yeah, I got some ones, some hearts. Okay, perfect. So, in this little quote, they're talking about what it's gonna cost you. And in reality, all the stuff it's going to cost you is those things that are holding you in your comfort zone, those things that make you who you are today. But the real things, the things of real value, those people who really mean the most to you, they will be there through the journey and they'll be there on the other side. What you'll find that as you develop and change and shed skin and grow into this new person, all the bullshit relationships will fall away with that old skin. All the negative energy draggers who are taking from you and not giving to you, who are just wanting you for what you can provide to them, they will stay with that old skin for what that was able to give to them. But as you grow into this new being, this new identity, this new person, this new life, you will find others who are there to support you and not take from you. You will find the ones that have been with you the whole time will still be there. You'll find the ones who care for you the most will support that change and encourage it and not try to hold you back from it. Change is what makes humans human. Think about how much we've changed from Neanderthal times. It's the development, it's the growth, it's the learning, it's taking what we already know and adding to it. Alex, what's his name? Alex Morsese. I can never get his last name. I'm going to get this last name right, and I'm going to write it down for next time I talk about it. But Alex Mosey or something along those lines. He's a really good sales person. He's got a YouTube channel. I really recommend going and checking it out. I forgot the quote I was going to say from him now because I've got his name. Shit, it's gone. Anyway, I'm going to come back to that one because it's really important. But my point here is as you change, as you develop, as you grow, your life around you is going to change and develop and grow with you. And you can't remain with all the same habits, all the same people, all the same thoughts, all the same, I guess, surroundings in some aspect if you expect to be at a different level. Now, we're on this trading journey, and trading changes you like you couldn't believe. And I say this so many times that the person you're going to be as a successful trader is not the person that brought you to trading. It's just not going to happen. You need to grow and develop and change. But we are so scared of humans to make those changes because we're scared of what it's going to cost us. We're scared of the comfy relationships we've got, not the meaningful, of losing the comfy relationships and not thinking about the meaningful ones we have that will stick with us the whole time. We're scared of the risk of maybe dropping some finances when we take that risk and not thinking about what it actually will come if we do take the risk. You know, we're scared of what people will talk about us, what people will say about us. I mean, I'm putting my hand up as 100% on this, but also put a 1 in the chat if you have gone to post something on social media and then you've stopped and deleted it because you're too scared of what people might say or what some of the hundreds of thousands of Facebook friends that you speak to maybe once ever are going to say and think of you. Yep. So their comments don't pay your bills. Their comments don't give you emotional, feelings of joy and happiness like your success does. And it's incredible how much our mind plays tricks on us, where we will allow, what we do is we preconceive some idea of what some random person may think about us, and we allow that particular thing to stop us from changing our lives to all the things that we want it to be. Like, how fucking crazy is the idea that it's not even what they will say or what they do say, it's what we think they might say. It's so outrageous how we as humans can foresee a thought that's not even real, that scares us into staying in our comfort zone. Do you understand the point I'm trying to make here? I know it's a bit convoluted, but we withhold so much through fear of judgment of other people, but it's not even the actual judgment. It's thoughts we're making up about what might happen rather than living in the moment and dealing with what is happening. Because 99% of the time, any judgmental comment or any irrational thought comes from people who you don't give a shit about, who are pretty much going nowhere and have nothing better to do than tear other people down through the fear of being left alone and left behind. And the rest of it you don't even hear about. It's just people bitching behind your back. So who gives a fuck? It's so outrageous how much we let these thoughts in our own head, exactly, Deanna, our perception of their judgment affect our life. And it doesn't just affect one action, it affects a multitude of actions, which stops us from changing into a new identity and growing as a human. I'm sure you've all heard, and chuck in the chat some ones if you've heard, oh man, you've changed, or you're scared of hearing that. You used to be da 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 da. I know for me, like when I first started going down this path, I was terrified of people in high school or some of my close friends going, oh man, oh man, you've changed. Remember when now, exactly as Shelley says, I fucking love it. Tell me I've changed. Tell me how much I'm different, because that means I've grown so much further than the guy who used to just go get pissed with you every weekend and do nothing useful. So tell me how much I've changed. Tell me how different I am, because that's what's going to drive me and push me to keep going. If you're a dropout who does nothing with your life and I come back and you go, oh man, this is exactly like when you left, I'm going to be like, shit, well, what a waste of 10 years that was. I should have done something different. Yeah, it sounds like progress, right? So my point is, don't be afraid. I know it's so much easier to be said than done. I'm still terrified sometimes when I do some of the stuff that I do. And I'm like, oh man, what's everyone going to think or say if I do this? Oh, I'm not perfect yet. I can't do it. Just fucking go for it and learn on the way. Fail forward, fail fast, fail hard, but keep failing. Just keep doing it, because eventually you'll fail at something so incredibly difficult that people go, how are you even attempting that to be able to fail at it? You know the difference when, you see an astronaut failing at his 15th attempt in his simulation? You're not like, oh man, you failed, you're a loser. You're like, how the hell did you get to that level? Because he's failed 100,000 times on something else to get to the point where he's failing at something incredible that none of us can even imagine doing. Fail so many times that you'll get to a point that the thing you're failing at blows people out the fucking water. Anyway, just want you to understand the fact that change is important. What will it cost you if you don't change? What will it cost you if you stay where you are? And what will it cost you if it does change? What will you lose? What can you shed? What can you get rid of? What can you lighten yourself off with that will allow you to go into a new skin, into a new beautiful butterfly? Okay. Yes, I also love hearing this. When people say, what have you been doing? You sure look great and seem like you are doing really well. Yeah, what a great thing, what a great thing to hear. All right. That's pretty much all I have to say for today. Tomorrow, I'm going to try and bring this back around to how we can change on the charts and how we can change as a trader on our journey. Because I'm sure the trader you were when you first started, when you were going through the first charts and looking at the confusing chaos that looked like dog's breakfast, to you when you first started looks nothing like what it does now. And changing on our journey is extremely important as well. What will it cost us if we change our mindset in the charts, maybe even some of our strategies, and what's it going to cost us if we don't? So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed today. I did. It's a fantastic week start. Hope you all can go into the start of your week with a great mindset, a bit of gumption and prowess about yourself, and really willing to learn some lessons and make some changes in your life. Thanks for providing a group where I can question all of these things, Jake. It means so much to me. I love hearing that. Thank you so much for your kind words, and it's my pleasure. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Jake. Looking forward to a great day and a week ahead. Awesome. All right, everybody. Well, to our traders, our trading call is just about to start. So I will see you there. To those who are not on our trading calls and are just listening live on the podcast or here, I will see you tomorrow. Let's hit the charts and make some money. I love it. All right, everybody. Well, I will love you and leave you and see you tomorrow or on the charts in about 2 seconds. Thank you, Jake. Go out there and slay the mind and the market. Yes. Love it. All right, guys. Thanks.